The Sheridan is a Tier 10 American light tank, and it's one of my favorite vehicles to run in Tier 10, especially when it comes to winning battles. Now, why is that? Well, it's a combination of everything. First of all, it's very mobile. It goes 65 kilometers per hour forward, with a very similar power-to-weight ratio of the T100 LT and the Bosch Chatillon. As well, the Sheridan carries big alpha. As I say many times throughout the channel, alpha is key. That's why clippers are great, especially late game using a 50B, or as I made in my Batchat video not too long ago, you're able to carry very, very solid games with vehicles like a Batchat because you can use that 930 damage to clear an opponent when they can't shoot you back. That's the same for the Sheridan. You get one shell out for 560, and you drive back in the cover. And that's even better, judging that you're a light tank, so you've got fantastic camouflage. This tank also has 10 degrees of gun depression, making it flexible on almost any ridgeline in the game. It's got a lot of pros. However, there are some cons. It has terrible armor. Yes, the tank is covered in spaced armor, which is great. That means that you can't be HE'd. But you still only have 1,800 hit points, and those don't get incredibly far when every shell does penetrate you. The turret on the tank is the same as the T-49 most of the part, and the hull as well is very, very poor. I mean, the Sheridan is the lightest Tier 10 in the game, only weighing in at 16 tons, well, 17.05 when you're running it fully equipped, so very, very lightweight tank. You'll have to be extremely careful when ramming opponents. It's a very, very cautious playstyle, especially because you don't have a lot of DPM. That is the real downside. If the Sheridan had 2,700 DPM, this would be honestly a broken tank, but it has 2,300 because I'm running calibrated. Now the pen is great. It's got 340, which is actually more than every Tier 10 light and medium, apart from, I guess, the T100 LT because it fires AP as premium shells. But yeah, it's very good penetration. It's just the fact that the DPM is not great, and you need DPM a lot of times, especially in mobile vehicles, to clear enemy opponents. But, as I said, alpha's key. So, as long as you don't get in, battles that lost 7 minutes, you should be fine in the Sheridan, for the most part, to clear enemies, get big slaps in, and win the battle. So, here we are on Dead Rail. Now, Dead Rail is a fantastic map if you are in a hull-down vehicle. Unfortunately, I'm not. Crons, Concept 1Bs, any of those heavy-type vehicles, 60 TP that can sit hull down, you're golden. Unfortunately, I am not in that. But good news is that the enemy does not have a single mobile vehicle. They have 260 TPs, 2 183s, a Jagdtiger, and a MIL-2, and a VK-72. That's great news for me. That means I do not have to deal with any sort of mobility. I can easily outspot the enemies, come up behind them, and win the battle. And that's what we're going to try and do here. So, I'm pushing up aggressive, and oh boy. Well, thankfully, I'm quick enough that I spotted this 183 before he spotted me, and, he would have had the driven over the ridge. Now, I was a little worried that the 183 was just going to YOLO over, and in retrospect, that probably would have been the best idea for this guy, because he doesn't really do much to me. But we're going to see what we can do. There's 1 shell into his tank, 2 shells. One of the big downsides of the 183 is to house that massive cannon. It has a very large turret, and the turret is larger than the tank can actually see. So I can poke my tank, shoot the roof of the 183, and as you can see, he can't even see my tank, so that's pretty nice. That was a little nervous there, but we're already up to 1,600 damage. We've brought what is a full health tank destroyer down to 200 hit points, and we're reloading again. This is where that alpha comes in handy. If I was in, let's say, a Vickers Light, I'd have to continuously poke this guy, and every one of those times I poke, I have to be worried about being shot. Now, the Jagdtiger comes up behind me, and I obviously know that the Jagdtiger isn't a big threat, but I'm going to have to be a little bit worried about the 183. So I'm going to clear this guy first. Here we go. Finish him off. And with that, I know the Jagdtiger is still too slow to even get over this hill. So that's the good news. Now, while this is going on, I've noticed the Jagdtiger does not have a camouflage. I hate to say this, but if you don't run camos, I'm just going to go under the presumption that you're not great at the game. Because camos are cheap, they're easy to supply, and they really don't take much effort to use. They just give you a flat-out advantage. So if you're not running any camo, I'm expecting that you don't know much. So, yeah. Unfortunately for this Jagdtiger's case, that seems to be true. We're going to come up behind him. I'm going to load an HE shell, penetrate it right on the rear of his engine deck, whatever you want to call that, the hatches, I don't know. Either way, we shoot it into the back of a superstructure, and we're over 3,000 damage, and thankfully, my grill finishes him off. I am a little bit bummed with my grill, though. I really, really had wished that grill had stayed back at base 1 or 2, because it would have been a lot more beneficial for the team. Now, we got the VK-72 driving away, and boom! Big ol' slap into the rear for 700. That is where that alpha comes way, way in handy, and at the same time, that grill gets an HE into the MIL-2 for 1,000. Yeah, this battle, it's a 50-50 right now. I mean, the team is not doing great. I will tell you that. The heavy side of the team, well, you'll notice that my teammate is the only person left. So that's not great news, especially because he's only at 189 hit points. But I'm going to try and get some shells out, cover him, but yeah, that full health 60 TP. I didn't even see that 60 TP until it was too late. But there you go. We get a shot into that guy. Finish him off. Nice. We're up to 4,500 damage. But again, as you can see, we are in a bit of a pickle. We got the VK7201K off to my side, and I'm going to try and get a shell in. So here we go, aiming, and boop! There you go, finish off the VK. You'll notice I really wanted that shell to connect to make sure it penned. So we did penetrate the shell. We did 4,700 damage now. The enemy team has 3 vehicles left. And, well, hopefully they're only going to have 2 fire. Oh, yes! Oh, all right, it's a 2 versus 2, but then I noticed my grill decided to push up into the front line. If he had just stayed back, honestly, this would have been the easiest win ever. All the grill had to do was use his tank like a tank destroyer, and we could have won this battle much, much easier. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case, and the grill wanted the YOLO in. But again, he's running no camouflage, so kind of expected. Either way, we're going to get a big old slap into that 60 TP, and, well, I decided I would rather take the shot for the 60 instead of my grill taking it. I was really, really hoping the grill was going to shoot the 60, but nope, that is a big fat no from me. Alright, well, we know the 183 can one-shot me now. We know that my grill is going to die. I was thinking, do I want to cover my grill, or do I want to leave? And, yeah, I'm just going to leave him. It's a waste of my time to cover that guy. He's clearly a one-shot. He's going to be a waste of my effort. So, yeah, right now, I'm going to drive away. I was thinking, do I shoot it? Do I shoot it? The issue is if I shoot, they instantly start driving towards me. I want to capture the space, so that's what I'm going to try and do. Here we go. Capturing the base. I was hoping I could maybe get a shell into that 60 TP, but nah, it's not worth the poke. I'm just going to wait. Slowly capture the base. Slowly capture the base. This is a very slow capture. Now, the enemy team does have a decent player in that 60 TP, so I gotta be a little bit cautious about that. But I obviously know they are at base B, so here we go. We're up to 5,200 damage and big ol' slap into that 183. That means I need 2 more shells or a Maxwell to finish him off. But as we know, I'm probably not going to Maxwell him, as that's a very, very lucky chance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to purposefully get spotted by the 60. I'm going to drive this way, and then I'm hoping that I can reset my camouflage. All right, reset. Nice, all right. I'm able to get away, and sure, the 60 does spot me, but he wasn't looking that way, which is exactly what I've wanted. We got the 183 off to the side, who I'm going to try and get a shell into. There you go, nice slap, and the little 183 does the classic 183 maneuver of try and shoot you on the move. So because of that, he messes up big time, and that is great news for me, although the 60 TP shoots me. I knew he was going to, but that really, really sucks. So right now, we got a 60 TP at 1,400 health, but that's not the problem. The problem is that we are down to base caps, and yeah, that's the problem. I cannot win this. If this 60 just holds his shot, I am in a very, very, very deep situation. But the 60 shoots, which means I'm able to get a shell right into his lower plate. But now he's up to 928 on the cap, and I need 2 more shells to finish his vehicle off. Well, I got no choice. I gotta try and take him out. So here we go. The issue again is now from the position of the terrain. I can't get the shell in, but we're gonna try anyway. 60 misses, but it wouldn't have mattered. I didn't have enough time to reload that shell. We had 10 seconds left. That is sad. That is incredibly sad, especially because the 60 missed me. Oh, anger, anger, anger. That was an 8,000 damage battle from the Sheridan, and you can see where its carrying potential is great. The Sheridan did not let me down here. Base capture on Supremacy, yeah. Sometimes I hate it, and it does cause defeats like this, which could have been an 8,000 damage victory, a very nice one at that, which would have been an absolute carry. But because of base capture, the enemy team won. So there are downsides to Supremacy. I like it just because for every loss I have like this, there's maybe 2 or 3 wins where the base capture goes up and I'm able to come out with a victory. But that is just what happens in the life of Blitz. I wasn't angry that I lost this. I was disappointed because I was just watching the base cap go up, and I wasn't even worried about the enemy, honestly. I was just looking at the base cap because I knew even if I killed the 183, even if I shot the 60 TP, it didn't make a difference because they were way too high on cap. If that grill had just stayed at the back, used his job like a tank destroyer, we probably could have won that battle. This is why, just as a big reiteration, please know your role on the battlefield. If you're in a tank destroyer, unless you need to push frontline, please do not, especially when you have a light tank spotting for you. But Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and you see just how frustrating a defeat can be. Other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!